I certainly have quite a bit of experience with is Xonotic.
Yeah.
I do really like Xonotic. Xonotic is very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It's not my style of game.
Hmm?
I get bored of the gameplay very fast,
Not a big
but
FPS player?
I love FPS, but
Mm.
the run and gun, the Twitch based, like everybody's going light speed and there's
Yeah.
just like explosions. That's not my style at all. It's just, what's funny is I love chaos. I embody chaos in a lot of ways, but Xonotic is chaos in a first person shooter, and it's just too much. Like, I don't know. When I recorded the footage, I was creating a lot of custom maps, like the custom
Okay.
maps, custom matches, but they were capture the flag. They were like different scenarios
Yep,
that were
yep.
more interesting than just like a team deathmatch where everybody's just shooting.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
limited the weapons so that I could always get the weapon that like I think I use machine gun most of the time because that
Yep.
actually feels really good.
Mhm.
Some of the other weapons are just like I don't know. It's Xonotic's not my type of game. I played it to get footage, and I'll probably not play it again.
Yeah, when it being a game that's, based on Quake, you've got the whole like you gotta lead your shots and that. Like I when you're not used to that, I can see why the machine gun would certainly be a little bit more approachable. Like you can get
Yeah,
some
that's
really
my
cool
style.
shots with the RPG and the grenade launcher, but
Yeah.
it can be a bit rough to actually hit anything.
One of the matches that I joined, there's footage in the video of it. It's like a strange capture the flag skiing match,
Hmm.
but there was Imagine Dragons playing on the server radio, and people were just vibing. Sometimes you'd spawn and just like immediately become Gibbs or
Mm,
Jibs or whatever. I mean, it was just like it was wild,
mm,
and I
mm, mm.
could see that community aspect of it. Like, what are you gonna do after school or something? I'm gonna hop on Xonotic and ski and listen to music with these
Mm.
randos. Like that actually sounds kind of fun. I get the appeal.
Out of all the open source games, like Xonotic has a surprisingly active community. Like,
Yeah, it's an easy game to get into,
mm, mm.
Like you download it, the server browser is right there. Some of them, I mean, the names catch you and then you join in and people are just goofing around. Yeah, I mean, it's a good game to get into. It's just not for me.
I did get the back. I think the last time I streamed the game, I did. Was it? Wait, was it Xonotic or? No, I think it was Xonotic. I got the attention of the devs because I was
Hmm.
trying to push the limit on how big you could make a server.
Oh man, how many people did you get in there?
I know I filled it with bots just to see what would happen.
Oh man.
You can run with like I think it was like 128 people, and it functions. Not well, but it functions, and that's kind of surprising. It's
Yeah,
chaos, and
that's
everyone's dying instantly.
well, now the engine that it's using is like an advanced modern version of the Quake engine.
Mm,
And when I was doing
mm.
my research, I couldn't get a good answer. When they say Quake engine, are they literally talking about Quake 1 or is it whatever was the last open source Quake engine? So like Quake 4, Quake 3 or whatever. I guess Gold Source, which is Half-Life,
Mm.
was based on Quake 1's engine. And then the source that we know today, like the source engine that we know today, including the engine that apparently Apex Legends uses, is based on the source engine, which is based on OG Quake's engine, which is kind of mind blowing to think about. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I read that Gabe Newell said that that the engine was based on Quake's engine, but they rewrote basically all of it. So I mean, like, I don't know what that means exactly, but it's fascinating to think about. But it also it shows you how much the I guess the world at large leverages open source technology.
I'm just
Like id Software open sourced the Quake engine, and everybody grabbed it, and then it just became a huge thing. That's what open source is all about.
I'm having a look through it right now, and it seems like it's based on that original open source Quake engine of Quake 1. But it would be like
That's wild.
heavily modified at this point. Because I think
Yeah.
because it says it's based on the Dark Places engine, which is based on the Quake engine, because the original Quake engine was known to be like really buggy. So it's been modified over the years, and it's, at a more usable point than it was back in '97.
Right. Now, if you read that on Wikipedia,
Mm.
Wikipedia is inaccurate. If you go to Xonotic's like the Xonotic GitLab,
Uh-huh.
you'll see that they have a repo for Xonotic the game and a repo for the game engine, which is not the engine that is listed on Wikipedia. It's called it's a fork of GTK Radiant or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very strange issue. I would love to make a video talking about all of these open source game engines because I find it so fascinating.
Mm-mm.
There's all these different game and render engines that are all open source. A Panda 3D. I did a video on Panda 3D.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, what'd you find?
I'm seeing on their GitHub there's the NetRadiant engine and then also the Dark Places engine I was mentioning just before.
Okay.
So it seems like they are using that Dark Places engine. I presume it's Okay, no, this is just a mirror of it. So maybe they've made some patches to it, or maybe it's just a mirror. But yeah, they're
Maybe
definitely
they forked
using.
it.
Yeah, they're definitely using that Quake 1 engine though. That is definitely the case. As for NetRadiant, what is NetRadiant? Open source cross-platform level. Oh, NetRadiant is a level editor. So that's a level editor for the Quake engine games. That's okay, right. That makes sense. Okay, because it didn't make any sense that there would be like two separate engines there. But then it's confusing because some things will list Quake engine and Dark Places as if they are two wholly separate things.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it's all connected, but it's really impressive what they're able to do.
Yeah, Xonotic is a really good-looking game. Out of the open source space, it's one of the better looking ones for sure.
I looked at there's a lot of there's quite a number of first person shooters like that, really fast arena based.
Yeah,
and I went with Xonotic mainly because it just looks so good. The
What
title screen is iffy, but the game itself looks solid.